Hey everyone, it's Braden back here again to talk about the differences between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. When I first came upon these two retirement accounts, I was very confused when I was reading articles as all the information in them wasn't sticking in my head at all. So today, I'm going to try to explain these two types of retirement accounts in the easiest way possible. I don't want to waste your guys' time, so let's hop right into it. First and foremost, before we dive in, what exactly is an IRA? An IRA stands for an individual retirement account. Essentially, it is a type of retirement account where you can deposit money into the account, and with that money you deposit it, you can buy shares of companies. An important note to clarify here is if you deposit money into your Roth IRA account, you do have to buy shares with it, or the money you deposit is just gonna sit there and not grow at all. I have another video coming on my channel very soon where I walk through exactly how to open up an IRA account and how to buy shares, so stay tuned for that video. Now let's get right into the differences between these two types of accounts. The main difference between these two types of accounts are the tax benefits you get with each of them. Essentially, when you withdraw money from your Roth IRA account, you don't pay tax on any of the principal or any of the earnings you get from the investments you made. On the other hand, with a traditional IRA, when you start withdrawing money from that account, you will have to pay taxes on that money. I made a quick example to really hone in on this point because this is the main difference between these two types of accounts. For example, let's say you had $1 million in a Roth IRA account and your friend Bob over here has $1 million in a traditional IRA account. You, with the Roth IRA, when you go to withdraw your money when you retire, you can withdraw all $1 million of that and use it any way you please because you don't need to pay taxes on any of that. With Bob, let's say he withdrew all $1 million as well, and his tax rate is 20%, that $1 million is going to shrink to $800,000 like that. I know that right now you guys are probably thinking that a Roth IRA sounds a lot better than a traditional IRA. But traditional IRAs do have their place, and it gets a little complicated when we dive in the tax benefits that a traditional IRA has over a Roth IRA. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to read more about the tax benefits a traditional IRA has. At this point, you're probably wondering what individual retirement account is right for you. And to answer that question, I love the Charles Schwab advice that they offer on their website. According to Charles Schwab, if you are planning on making more money than you do currently when you retire, then opt in for the Roth IRA account. If you plan on making the same amount of money or less, then opt for a traditional IRA account. Before I go, let me give you a couple more facts about both of these accounts. So for both accounts, you can only contribute up to $6,000 if you're younger than 50 years old, and then up to $7,000 if you're over 50 years old. For both of these accounts, you can start withdrawing penalty-free at 59.5 years old. There is no age restriction in either one of these accounts. As long as you're making an earned income, you can open one of these two retirement accounts. With a traditional IRA, no matter your income, you can always deposit $6,000 or $7,000 if you're over 50 years old. With a Roth IRA, on the other hand, after you start making more than $122,000 a year, your contribution limits are going to start decreasing. On the screen right now, I'm going to post a photo of the contribution limits for 2019, and you can see by the chart that the more money you make, the less money you are allowed to contribute to your Roth IRA account. And the last thing I want to mention before I go is with a Roth IRA, your contributions are going to come from after-tax dollars, but with a traditional IRA, your contributions can come from pre-tax dollars or after-tax dollars. And I'll leave a description or a link below in the description that talks about the difference between pre-tax dollars and after-tax dollars. I'll leave you with one more thing from Charles Schwab that really sums up the key difference between these two types of accounts. Straight from the horse's mouth, on Charles Schwab's website, they say that a Roth IRA, the basic difference is that you enjoy tax-free withdrawals in the future, but with a traditional IRA, you take advantage of tax benefits today, and I think that's a really eloquent way to sum up everything that I talked about today. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for all of you that stuck around till the end of this video. I hope you guys today were able to learn a thing or two about these two very awesome retirement accounts. Before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, and I hope everyone watching this has a wonderful day.